Yo dudes! Welcome to Steve's Magic Marvelous Wonderful Chocolate Factory. So this is 3 simple truffle recipes, each that have less than 5 ingredients and will each take you about 10 minutes to make. They make a great gift, they make a great centerpiece and something that's really easy to impress your friends. First one, we're gonna make a nice simple Nutella truffle. So I've taken 100 grams of hazelnuts, I roasted them in the oven for about 15 minutes, and then I rubbed them in a towel just to take most of the skin off because the skin can be a little bit bitter. Pop them into the food processors. If you can just get roasted hazelnuts, just 100 grams, in they go. In on top of them, I have 70 grams of pitted dates. If your food processor isn't that good, just give them a chop. This one's great. And last ingredient I have is 50 grams of melted dark chocolate. It's important it's melted because this is going to give the viscosity which is going to blend it and hold it all together. Boom. I like a little bit of texture in mine. If you want yours super smooth, give it 2 to 3 minutes until the hazelnuts break down and they almost form a hazelnut butter-like texture. But I like a little bit of bite to contrast with the kind of soft richness of the chocolate. Okay, no need to clean out the food processor. I'm gonna make the next one again. Okay, we're gonna make a peanut butter caramel truffle. So I have 100 grams of pitted dates. So I chopped these up just to make it a little bit easier in the food processor. In they go. So I have 50 grams of smooth peanut butter. I want to make this a smooth caramel. Obviously, if you want a crunchy, use a crunchy peanut butter. And obviously, if you're allergic to peanut butter, just use tahini as an equal replacement. Next step, we're going to add our fat. Might seem like a huge amount. I have 60 grams of coconut oil. And obviously, if you want to make it lower in fat, just use less. But the coconut oil adds that indulgent quality and does help break it down into a real nice caramel. I'm just breaking it up a little bit so it's not quite as big. Finally, I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of water just to start with. Pop the lid on, and it's really important we blend these until it hits a smooth caramel-like texture. If it appears to be a little bit dry, this is the part that's a little bit subjective, just add a little bit more water. I obviously want to keep these quite tight so they're easier to shape and roll in my hand, so I don't want them too runny. So I've gone up to 3 tablespoons of water. Boom. Oh, look at that. So the point to note is make sure it comes until it starts to come together in this beautiful caramel-like ball. So it almost forms like a toffee or a caramel-like texture that's so fabulous. Okay, last one we're gonna make is we're gonna make a simple berry-infused chocolate mousse. It goes fabulous, it's wonderful, it's light, it's airy, and you can infuse it in many different ways. Okay, so we're gonna make a berry-infused chocolate mousse. It's an emulsion. So I have 100 grams of dark chocolate. This is 54% cocoa solids. I have 75 ml of boiling water. I'm taking my 2 berry tea bags. I'm gonna pop them in. Just give them a nice stir. So take your tea bag out, give it a nice squeeze just to really infuse as much flavor as possible. Discard your tea bag. I'm gonna pour that in on top. What's gonna happen is the cacao butter is gonna melt. So once all the water is melted and it's very like a chocolate puddle, take equal part ice and water and just pop it on. What we're hoping here is to make an emulsion. That means for the water-based solution to combine with the fat-based solution, the cacao butter, to form this wonderful, creamy, incredibly delicious chocolate mousse. So the point to note is that it's on a cooling trajectory. You want to take it off before it starts to get too hard. So you see where that's lovely and moussey-like texture. Take it off that and it will continue to cool. What we want is that a texture that it's easy to shape into little truffle balls. So you see the way it's really gone like cream? Take that off the ice and boom, that's number 3. And you just transfer that to a bowl just to make it all easier to work together. Next step, we're gonna roll our truffles into little balls. Obviously make sure your hands are not too hot because the temperature will melt chocolate. As you know, eating chocolate, it melts at body temperature 37 degrees. I'm just gonna roll them into little balls before I coat them. So here we have our Nutella chocolate truffle. Here we have our peanut caramel and we have our berry chocolate mousse. If you're worried about the berry chocolate mousse melting, just put it in the freezer for 10-15 minutes. However, we're just gonna give them all a little chocolate bath and cover them. Okay, simple tip of making your truffles look that extra little bit fancy is toppings. So here I have some freeze-dried raspberry. I'm gonna put this on top of our berry one. Next step, I have some diced roasted peanut butter that I'm gonna pop on top of our peanut caramel one. Last and final one, I think salt goes incredible with chocolate, so I'm just putting a tiny little bit of flaked sea salt on the top. Might sound crazy to some people, salt on chocolate, but it really accentuates the sweet notes and kind of just adds that, maximizes the contrast. Let us know down below which one would be your favorite. So these are less than 5 ingredient, easy vegan truffles, make a great Christmas gift or great kind of party dish. I think my favorite would be this fella with salt. I think it's really nice. Obviously leave them to set. Geez, the salt really does. As much as many people think salt is awful in chocolate, it just really accentuates the sweetness, and you get a hazelnut bang. Delicious. Thank you for watching. Wishing you a happy festive season and loads of love. Cheers.